is massive. The whole country covers an area of over 10 million square miles, but its two major cities and 4/5 of its population are located in the European part, to the west. I start my journey in Moscow, then I take the train to St. Petersburg with a stop off at Torzhok. From St. Petersburg, I fly to the Arctic Circle and to the port of Murmansk, where the end of the winter is celebrated each year at the Festival of the North. Moscow. I've seen a lot of changes recently, but it's hard to forget that for 70 years, this was the capital of world communism. There you are, now that is classic Stalinist architecture there. You've got the hammer and sickles on both sides, you've got the star at the top, and different layers. That's why it's nicknamed the wedding cake. Better than that, it's my hotel. Because it's never been much of a tourist town, Moscow doesn't have many cheap places to stay for travellers. So the Hotel Ukraine is the sort of place you'll end up in. Good old-fashioned Soviet accommodation from a bygone era. Well, I love the room, but alas, I can only afford to stay here for one night because it's $100. But this is what I'm paying the money for. Look at that. I feel like I'm in some gothic horror movie. Many towns in Russia have a Kremlin. The word actually means fortress, but this is the only one that counts for me. It's the place where every Western spy would risk their life to gain access. Now, it only costs you $5 to get in. For most part, it's a lovely collection of palaces, churches and bell towers. Then you've got this ugly monstrosity of concrete, built in the 60s, in the Khrushchev times, to house all the communist conferences and the Soviet meetings. Looks like massive swimming baths to me. But if you just go around the corner, that's where all the beauty is. Not only is this the heart of the Kremlin, but it's also the heart of Russia. That there is called the Assumption Cathedral. And it's probably the most important church in the whole of Russia, because in there, many tsars have been buried. So this is the famous onion domes, and apparently there's two reasons why they're that shape. One is when the snow falls, it can't stay on it, so it drops off. And the other one is for the romantics, which is like, it's shaped like the flame of a candle going up to heaven. Outside the Kremlin's east wall is Red Square. In the shadow of St. Basil's Cathedral, this is the place where the Red Army paraded its tanks and missiles to impress its leaders and frighten the world. This is it, I can't believe I'm here, it's great. This is the famous Red Square. And it was named Red Square years before the communists took over, because it means beautiful in Russia, and it's true. Look, you've got the church back there. This is the massive gum department store. Go shopping there. I think that's a museum, and could just make it out. That's the Kremlin there, and that there, Lenin's tomb. It's got the lot. I think what I really like about it is like the intricate design, and it's obviously really well made, and there's lots and lots of colours. I just think this hat really suits me, and it keeps your ears warm as well. Is there anything to see around here? That's the big wall to the Kremlin, and just to the foot of it, this is where all the Soviet dignitaries are buried. There's old Brezhnev and Andropov. And here it is, the main attraction, Stalin. Wow, weird. When Lenin died in 1924, the Russian people couldn't imagine life without him, so they had him embalmed and put him in a display case. This turned the man into an icon of the revolution, and within a few years, there was a statue of him in every Russian town. Keeping the body preserved is a huge operation, but there's no longer a political need to preserve the memory. Word is that one day soon they'll bury Lenin in a normal grave, and finally laying to rest the last remnant of the Bolshevik Revolution. Well, I've done it all now. The Kremlin, Red Square, and Lenin's tomb. Save that one till last. That was weird, and it looks like a waxwork dummy. It looked really strange. Don't know what was going on in there. There's fast food joints all over Moscow, like your pizzas and your burgers, but I had to go for something Russian. Look at that. It's called a Bellini, and it's got caviar. It's a bit like a pancake, but, you know, I thought I'd splash out a bit. And this is kvass. This is like a bread drink. What they do is they put bread in water with yeast, and then it ferments, and this is the result. Oh, caviar. Oh, red caviar.